Well, Mike Tyson, the airplane fight.
Oh boy, yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah, it's wasn't surprised, man. That guy was a major asshole.
I couldn't believe it because remember I told you, I even showed you the footage when I interviewed Tyson when he got kind of annoyed with me during our interview. You've never seen this?
Refresh my memory. He got annoyed.
When I asked him, I said, "What when I interviewed him, it was like in his ring at his gym, and I said, hey, what is here you are, this multimillionaire, and you seem to be attracted to these street guys all the time."
Oh, okay.
And Tyson was like, "What do you mean attracted?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Shit, not the right word." Here you are, this multimillionaire, and it seems like you've always been attracted to the guys that are still in the streets to a certain degree. Do you think that's a fair statement?
You think I'm attracted to them?
Well, not attracted to them, but I mean, you like having them around. You're friends with them, and you
You
maintain.
think I like having them around?
I'm just asking.
You think I'm friends? What do you think? You think I like having them around?
You just spoke nicely about Zip, so I just thought.
Yeah. You know who these guys are? When you talk, what do you say about me? I'm this big, whatever I am, right? But know who those guys are? Those are the guys that when I'm whoever I am is a nobody. Those are the guys that live in the same building with me. That gives my mother salt or sugar if they need, or milk. They're the same guys.
Yeah. Not the right word. I wish I could take it back, but here I am in the ring with Mike Tyson right now, and my security guy is way over there.
Yeah. And
he's not gonna get to me in time. Tyson takes a swing at me right now. But I remember just feeling like, it's still Mike Tyson. Like this is not someone. I'm backing up off the statement and trying to explain myself, and I'm not
because
I'm not trying to piss him off. Like I'm still in the ring with Mike Tyson, right? This is still
in the ring. You are an opponent. Especially
right. But I mean, still, I'm in very close proximity with this man, and I just don't want to I don't want to upset him. Right, because he's still Mike Tyson. Growing up as the baddest man alive, knocked guys out in 30 seconds. So I just can't imagine poking at him and bothering him over and over again the way that guy was doing. It was really kind of crazy.
Dude, that
I'm watching going like, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, well, hey man, he wasn't new to being an asshole. He didn't just pioneer being an asshole that day. Yeah. He had a whole lot of practice before that. So I mean, there's people like Mike Tyson and there's people like who they listen strongly. They a lot of the most dangerous people are hypersensitive, especially if they have to defend themselves. Because how many times did Mike Tyson have to defend themselves for somebody taking something in another direction? So he's going to be on every word. I looked at you speaking to Sammy the Bull Gravano, and that cat, every little word, he can hear everything, and he listens.
Yep.
Because you got to survive on that instinct. You're wrong about somebody that could cause your life. So he's like, it was interesting watching that. And also I love the way I see how much better you are in the interview process and how you got to be like, you got to be on your toes because the wrong word takes you this way. But then there's times where you pick the right word. Most of the time you pick the right word, and he was very engaged. But at any moment you say the wrong thing, this guy's going to be that way, and he has no fear of anybody. It's interesting because the most dangerous people I've ever met in my life have all been under 5'7".
Yeah, he was a small guy. It kind of surprised me when I was like, this guy's actually
met. The people who will take your ass out. I know a number of them, and they all happen to be like that, and they listen like that. What's crazy? I believe the most dangerous people I met is the same guy who pistol with Corey Pegues.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it's the same guy. They have the same street name, but this is a friend of mine who, to me, reminds me a lot of Sammy the Bull.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. Sammy the Bull is 5'5".
Yeah. Some of the baddest cats I know, 5'6", 5'5", And I mean, this guy that I know, and I think I talked to you about him once before, because my friend Frankie, who was super middleweight champion, he was, still connected with a lot of street stuff. And he always talked to me about this guy. And then I'll go to visit Frankie one day. He had this new condo or whatever. And on the bottom floor, this dude walked by me. And he nodded, and I nodded, and I was like, that's a killer. Mm. And once I got to Frankie's house, I said, you beefing with anybody? He's like, nah, man, nah. And I was like, we about to leave out here. Give me that 1911 and you grab whatever you want. Well, I know he had this 1911 45. I said, we're not going downstairs without being strapped because of this guy I just saw downstairs. And Frankie starts laughing. I don't know what he's laughing about. And in comes the same guy I passed. And he tells him, yo, Mike peeped you out. I'm like, I grew up with this, right? I knew without a doubt this dude was a killer. And he had a lot of bodies on him. But I was like, there's got to be an explanation for why a guy like that is here. And turns out that, and he became a very good friend. But man, I recognize that look. And people like that, they don't even know. But there's not many people who would be able to peep them out that way. But I knew without a doubt, I didn't know that was a guy Frankie talked to me about for years, but it made sense because I was like, nah, this cat. But there's a look, there's a certain thing that you can tell growing up in that fashion.